Hi everybody. Hope you're having a good, happy Friday. I'm really tired today. I'm trying to keep it together. I'm going to bring some energy for you. But it's Friday. It's November 17th. Does that sound about right? Hope you guys are having an awesome day. Hope you had an awesome week. It's the weekend. It's here. Hope you guys have good plans for the weekend. Maybe let me know what's going on this weekend. Let's see. Hello, everybody in the chat. How are you doing? I see some people who've been here last week. I saw P. Vega's in the chat. Hello, P. Vega. JB, do I know French? Not enough, buddy. Sorry, not enough. But English? Not bad in English. Let's see who else is in here. A lot of people from last week. Hello, Walid. How you doing, buddy? Pilar, hello. Nesreen, hello. Walid, mention me. All right, Walid, there you are. How are you, buddy? Hope you're doing good. I see some people, it's pretty early morning over there, 8:36 a.m. I appreciate that. Thank you for waking up and spending time. I'm going to have to wake up myself here. It's been a long week for me, but I hope you guys had a better week than I did. So I threw the document in the chat. You know my system. I have a very, very repetitive system, but I think it works. The document's in there again. Please take that, open it up, and make a copy for yourself. That's everything we're going to be working on today. So without further ado, I think I said hello to everybody. Welcome again, and we'll get into it. All right, so here we go. Let's pull it up on the big screen. Boom. And there we go. So I think this is something that we worked on the other week. We actually did something on adjectives before. And I wanted to keep going on adjectives a little bit because we use them all the time, of course. And I think if you guys really have a good understanding of the English system, it's only going to help you to become much, much better. And then eventually you won't need me. You'll be able to learn on your own because you'll have a good understanding of English grammar. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look at adjectives, a bunch of different adjectives, a good variety of adjectives, and we're going to look at how to understand that that's an adjective and that's a verb and that's an adverb. Now, some of you guys probably know this already, but maybe some of you guys, this will be an important lesson, and we're going to look at how to identify, how to know that's an adjective and where it should go in a sentence. Because if you know that, then your English is going to be pretty good. All right, so here we go. Let's get started. We're gonna start on a few of these, and so these are wrong page. Here we go. So this is a classic warm up that I like to do. So what normally would happen is we would walk around the class and we would kind of agree and disagree with these ideas, and you would write the student's name next to it. But we're going to do it just as a group chat. So what you guys can do is everyone take a look at number 1. And there you go. Tired and confused every morning. I'm sure you're not tired and confused every morning, but I don't know. Sometimes if you're learning English, you could be tired and confused a little bit, right? It happens. Hello from Sweden. Hello, Saeed. So what do you think? Do you guys agree with this? And you can say sometimes, you can say whenever, right? So I'm tired. And what does it mean, confused? It means you don't understand something. So if you don't understand something many times, maybe it's true. Maybe you are tired and confused every morning. All right, so how many people do you agree with this idea? And I'll put that as well here, maybe just so it's clear. Do you agree with the ideas below? Okay, so just so we can follow along, so you can listen to me and you can read at the same time. All right, so what do you guys think? I'm tired and confused every morning. When you're learning English, maybe a little bit tired and confusing. So for me, I don't think so. I think I know what I'm doing every morning. So what do you guys think about this? Give me a few of your opinions. Or maybe let me change this one a little bit. I'm tired and confused. Let's get a little bit more specific. I am learning English grammar. Ta-da. Boom. Much better. Makes more sense now. All right, so what do you guys think about that? When you guys are learning English grammar, do you feel tired or confused about anything? Or does it kind of, you shut off, you're just like not interested in it? Something difficult to learn, right? All right, let's go ahead. Let's jump to number 2. Number 1, not too popular. Let's go to number 2. All right, so tell me about this. Tell me about your past. Tell me about when you were in high school. I was a dedicated and determined student in high school. Okay, do you agree with that? And you can also answer, you can think about why or why not. So in high school, so my answer, In high school. So feel free, guys, throw some ideas into the chat. Oh, you're still in high school. Well, Gizem, okay, well, tell us. Are you a dedicated and determined student right now? Give us some answers. Put them into the chat, and that way we can kind of discuss them, and you can see them here in the chat, and you can also see them on the screen sometimes if it's something we're working with. So in high school, I'll give you my answer. I was not super, that's kind of beating around the bush. I was not super determined in high school. I just didn't know exactly what I wanted to do in high school. But when I got to university, I was determined. I was pretty determined, and I did much better once I got to, once I got to university, I did a lot better. So what about you guys? How were you in high school? What does it mean? Dedicated. Dedicated means you spend a lot of, so for example, let's say you work at a job, and you spend a lot of time trying to be good at your job. Or you always put your job first before yourself, right? You would always. So that might be a good example of dedicated. And determined means you don't want to fail. You want to succeed all the time. You want to have some success in your job. So what do you guys think when you were in high school? Did you have this or not? So let's see what a few people said here. Let's see. So Gizem said, I'm still in high school. I'm waiting for her answer there. Gizem, can you give your answer? Bisma is on number 1. She said, not every morning, but all the day I remain confused. Well, that makes 2 of us, right? Let's see here. Juliana says, yes, I was. I got applied at a public university in Brazil. I used to study hard. Cool. Okay, and Juliana used that accepted. I think that's what you wanted to say. I got accepted to a public university in Brazil, and I used to study hard. So awesome, perfect. P. Vega says, I'm really dedicated in high school. P. Vega, are you in high school now, or was it in the past? So I'm just not sure if that, but it could be. Yeah, it could definitely be that. Let's see what else we got here. JB says, I was lazy and aimless student in high school. Okay, cool. I can kind of relate to that. High school wasn't my thing. University was more my thing. So JB, just add one thing. So I was lazy. Oh, no, you got it. No, you did it. I was lazy and... the only thing you might want to say is an aimless, A-N, because of that A on the aimless. But yeah, nice adjective there, aimless, perfect. Koi says, I agree. Sometimes my brain doesn't work in the morning. Okay, I got some people still on number 1. I'm going to highlight this here. We are on number 2. Let's see here. So I see a few people arriving late in the chat. No problem. If you are late, just grab that document right there, all right, and copy it. Let's see what else we got here. So JB says, studious, diligent, hardworking, attentive. Yeah, nice words. Cool. And we're going to look at a few of these words and a few of the different adjectives we can use. Death Day says, Death Day, awesome name. I completed undergraduate. So maybe you completed an undergraduate degree. And I was really lazy. Laugh out loud. Yeah, well, it happens, right? Okay, cool. All right, so let's go on to another one. And you can see I'm using different things here, right? Number 1, I was using the present. I was using ams. And number 2, I was using the past. And you can see there's a connection here. I'm using the be verb, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later as well. Let's go on to, let's switch it up a bit. Let's go on to number 3. Because I just want to show you guys some different grammar while we're doing this activity. So here's a sentence. And this one is not about you, it's about your parents. So number 3, my parents have been, ooh, sorry, did you find my grammar mistake? I screwed it up. There we go, let's fix that, there we go. Done. So my parents have been hardworking employees in a big company for a while. So do you guys agree with that? Do your parents work in a big company? And have they been working hard for a long time? But I didn't use working hard. I didn't use working as a verb. I use hardworking as an adjective. So what do you guys think about that? Anyone agree with that? So I can definitely agree with that. My parents. I won't say have been, because have been sounds like the present, like, right? In English we have that time which goes from the past until the present. But my parents have already retired, so I'll say my parents worked. My parents were hard-working employees and owned their own company. Okay, so they didn't even have to work for anyone. They actually owned their own company, so that was good for them. It's nice to work for yourself. All right, so anyone else? Let's see what else we got here. Hardworking. Okay, all right. I got some people shouting out answers already. Good job. Yes, hardworking, compound adjective. You got. We're going to see. We're not going to focus too much on that. We're going to mostly focus on a variety of adjectives. But you're right. It's a good example of a compound adjective. Okay, and Juliana says yes, they have. Now they are retired. So again, maybe same thing, Juliana. My parents were hardworking employees. There we go. And P Vega says my parents have been hardworking to get a new house. Cool, and that works as well. Very nice. Well, let's do one more here. Canal says my dad have been working. Okay, so again, I'm using it a little bit differently here, Canal. I'm using it. My dad has been hardworking. So I'm not using working as a verb. I'm using hardworking as an adjective. So just change that a little bit there. And last one, we'll do Garima. My parents worked very hard in raising me. Very nice. Awesome. But again, I want you to try, don't use worked as a verb. I want you to use hardworking as an adjective. So your verb today is going to be the be verb. So my parents were hardworking, and it's the same idea, but we're just going to focus on adjectives today and how to use them. All right, let's jump ahead. Maybe I'll go through a few of these here. Number 4. Oh yes, great one here. Let's take a look at this one here. Everyone take a look at number 4, please. It is useless to worry about the past because you can't change it. I think most people would probably agree with that. Yeah, it's a little bit of life wisdom for you. Do you guys agree with that? You cannot, it is useless. So you have useful, right? It's good, right? Like a smartphone is useful, right? You can take pictures, you can take videos, you can call your friends and family anytime. It's useful. Opposite would be useless. It's not useful. Okay, so it is useless to worry about your past, for example, or the past, because you can't change it. So I agree with this one. I agree. I think it's not too useful. It is useless to worry about the past. Okay, so that one's going to be short and sweet. Done. Okay. Now look at number 5. Interesting. This is an interesting strategy for coping with it. Alcohol is very useful and convenient if you can't forget your past. Smiley face. I don't know who wrote that. I'm not sure it's wisdom, but it might be a temporary solution to life's problems. So what do you guys think about that? Actually, you know what? I probably won't spend too much time on that. That's for comedic purposes only. Alcohol is very useful and convenient. Oh, I forgot my second adjective. This is my other adjective here, which I wanted to use. If you can't forget your past, smiley face. Okay, that's just for a joke. Let's go ahead and let's do number 6. Let's take a look at that one. And as you guys are doing this, I mean, I always put these little underlines, right? So like this one here, this one here, this one here, this one here. So this is really what we're going to be focusing on today. And all of these, the connection is that they're all adjectives. And you'll also notice that I have some other things underlined, like I have these words underlined. So always kind of look and see what's the connection here, what are we working on, because I'm always trying to push you towards something here. Let's see here. Where are we going? This is the one I want to do, number 6. Everyone, please take a look at number 6. My generation seems to be liberal and open-minded. So there's your compound adjective that you were talking about before. Open-minded. It's also an adjective, but it's 2 words instead of 1. And you can see I'm not using the be verb anymore. I'm using seems. So my generation seems to be liberal and open-minded. I probably agree with that. I think being in Canada, we have a pretty, I don't know, maybe an open-minded perspective. Yeah, I don't know. Vancouver, right? I don't know if you guys know about Vancouver, but it's a pretty liberal place, I think. So I would agree with that statement. What do you guys think? What about your generation? Do you agree with that? That you're kind of liberal, so you have a lot of freedom, right? And you're a very open-minded people. You can accept people from this situation. You can accept these ideas. So you're pretty flexible in this kind of way. What do you guys think about that? I've been to Brazil before. I thought Brazil was super liberal, and I loved every minute of it. What about your country? Maybe your country is like that as well. So Pilar says not really, but why, Pilar? Which country are you from? So why would you disagree with that idea? Yes, liberal does have many meanings. I guess the meaning that I'm trying to use is is maybe a little bit less traditional, right? A little bit more, maybe a little bit more progressive. But what do you think? I mean, give me your opinion. Let's see here. So, Canal says, yes, laugh, laugh, laugh. Brazil is super liberal. I totally agree, and I love it. Love it about it. Bisma says, I agreed. Indeed, they are. I'm learning English here in Pakistan from Canadian teachers. Proves this. Awesome. Well, cool. Glad you got some other Canadian teachers as well. We like to run around the world and kind of take vacations and work abroad and stuff like that. We like to travel, Canadians. So let's see what else is here. JB says Malaysia is liberal, illiberal or liberal, JB. I'm not sure what you got there. Malaysia is illiberal. Why can't I speak today? Officially, socially, oh, there we go. Socially liberal. Why can't I speak today? It's Friday. Okay, what else we got here? Judith says, due to the internet, people become, and Judith, I just want to add, have become very liberal, there we go, I got it, and more happy. Pilar says, I'm from Colombia, so my generation is traditional, so there we go, okay. And I guess if you want, what would be the opposite of open-minded? Close-minded. That would be, so you could write it just like that. There are other ways to say this as well, but that's one way. That's one word you could use if you wanted to use the opposite. All right, very nice topic here. And let's see, Ada Rahim says, liberal, and I think maybe saying being liberal can take us to, can make us have, maybe make us have more freedom than we need. Yeah, it's possible. Definitely could, right? All right, cool. So let's go on here. Let's do this one here. This one's interesting because of the little y that you can see here, because we do a lot of adjectives like this as well. I'm sure you can think of a bunch. So tell me, what do you think about Canada? So I'm from Canada. I'm living in Vancouver these days. It's a little bit pricey sometimes, and pricey means expensive. It's another way to say expensive, but looks beautiful or looks natural and beautiful. Let me add another one there. And I think this is kind of true. Do you guys agree with that? Maybe some of you guys have been to Vancouver before. What was your opinion of Vancouver, or if, you know, what do you think Vancouver might be like? And maybe you can give me a few adjectives. Do you think it might be expensive? Do you think it might be natural? Do you think it might be you know, something like that? So what do you guys think about that? Number 7 here. Give me your opinion about Canada. So from Pakistan, you said you had some Canadian teachers. So what kind of opinion do you have about Canadians from those guys or girls who are over there? So let's see here. What do you guys say? So has anyone been to Vancouver before? Pricey, expensive? Yeah, exactly, Juliana. Pricey is expensive. It's just another way to say it. Another way to say pricey, I'll give you a few more. You could say costly, but I think pricey sounds better than costly. I don't know. We just don't usually use costly as a verb that much, or as an adjective that much. But pricey is good. Yes, I think so. Canal says yes. I think it might be beautiful. Yeah, it's pretty nice. I think when you get outside the city, that's where the cool stuff is, right? You can do the mountains, camping, snowboarding, skiing, all that cool stuff. That's where it's at. What else we got here? Judith says she had been there 10 years ago. It was very pretty and had ample topics. Ample topics. What do you mean topics? Because ample means a lot, right? And topics would be like subjects. So it depends what kind of subjects you're talking about. Let's see. Pilar says, I have never been in Vancouver, but I think it should be beautiful. Yeah, I think you're right. Like I said, it's really the best part about Vancouver is getting outside and checking out all the natural stuff, and that's where it's at. Juliana says, I don't know yet. I'm going in December. I think it's expensive and beautiful. You are totally right. I think you agree with me. You kind of got the inside information about Vancouver. It is a little bit expensive, but it is undoubtedly beautiful. It's a good place. All right, so let's do. Oh, I got so many interesting ones to do. Let's skip that one. Your teacher's not knowledgeable. Number 9. Okay, so this one, coffee tastes bitter and crappy. And if you don't know bitter, bitter might be like a lemon or a lime. Those all have a bitter taste. Some people think wine when you're drinking wine, it has a really bitter taste. And crappy means bad, okay? Crap is poop, and if you don't know poop, you can Google it. But crappy is an adjective, which just means bad, and we use it all the time. It's kind of a slightly more polite way to say another bad word. I'm not going to cuss. This is a family program, but it's a little bit better way to say a bad word. Okay, so if you disagree with this, then I'll call you crazy. Coffee's amazing. It's kind of like liquid sunshine in a cup. And if you don't like the taste because it's bitter or crappy, then put a lot of sugar in and put some milk in it, and then you'll be rocking and rolling, and then you'll have a lot of energy like the rest of us. So I don't know what you guys think about that. Good coffee around the world. Colombian coffee is amazing. Brazilian coffee was amazing. So I'm sure you guys got a good handle on the coffee. Let's see what people say here. Judith says sour. Bitter, sour. Yeah, it's a little confusing sometimes, but wine might be bitter, right? It's kind of that dry. It's almost like a dry feeling in your mouth where you can kind of like, you can't spit because it's so dry. That might be a little bit bitter. So if you drink coffee black, it's going to be bitter. And of course, if you throw a bunch of sugar in it, it's going to be sweet. So kind of like that. So let's see. So some people say without sugar. Yeah, of course. Not all agree. Love coffee. Right on. Good. Send me some Colombian coffee, please. Brazilian coffee, Colombian coffee. And if I'm missing some countries which have awesome coffee, please educate me. Send me your espresso. I will do it up every morning and have lots of energy. JB says coffee really does taste like crap. Well, put more sugar and milk in it. You'll be all right, JB. Some people don't like it, right? Turkish coffee, I've heard a lot about. I would be very interested to try some Turkish coffee. All right, cool. Let's go and do one more. We got Angelina Jolie, we got Brad Pitt, we got being talkative is better than being quiet. Interesting. Or being super hot feels less uncomfortable than being super cold. I think we'll do the last one, we'll do number 12. Angelina Jolie, I'm sure there's a bunch of people who think she looks gorgeous, right? And I'm sure there's a bunch of people who think Brad Pitt look handsome, right? Probably. He's a good-looking guy. Number 12. Let's do one more, and then we'll get into the gritty. Right on. Coffee. Drink coffee. That's the lesson of the day. Drink your coffee. Number 12. Being talkative is better than being quiet. Interesting. What do you think? I'll tell you a little story. So one time I was going snowboarding, and I was sitting on the bus, and I was there with my Japanese friend. And Japanese people are pretty quiet, most of the time. You kind of talk and you say everything, and then you're done. And then in the back of the bus, there were two people, one person from Mexico and one person from Colombia. And they're going do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, back and forth, back and forth. I was just kind of listening to them, and just, man, it just doesn't stop. The talking keeps going on. So I had to go to my work, and I asked one of the Brazilians at my work, I was like, what is this? Just people keep talking and talking and talking. What do you think about it? And she said, oh yeah, it's just, whatever kind of comes into your mind, you just say it. I thought, oh, okay, so I could just say whatever I want. So I tried it that week, and it was pretty funny. It was pretty entertaining for me just to say anything that came into my mind. The conversation kind of went like this, but it was pretty entertaining. And so I now, after all that, I kind of agree that being talkative is better than being quiet. Why, say something. It's more interesting than saying nothing, even if it's not super important. So what do you guys think? I think all the Latin people will say yes here, and probably a lot of people, I think probably most people would say yes, that being talkative is better. So what do you guys think about that? I told you my story. Am I Jewish? No, JP, I'm not Jewish. What does that have to do with it? Being talkative is better than being quiet. I believe in it because I am like that. Okay, so there you go. So you're already a talkative person. But like I said, I agree. I think it's a good thing just to keep some conversation going. It's a little more entertaining, isn't it? Vega says she doesn't agree, and why not? Tell me. So whenever you give an answer, tell us why. Why do you disagree with that answer? Juliana says I think it depends. So not is depend, but I think it depends on the moment and the subject. Okay, can agree with that. What else we got here? Abdurrahim says I'm more shy person, and I think just say. I'm more, that's hard to say. You could say, I'm a shyer. It's easier to say, right? So I'm a shyer person. That is why I keep silent. And then you'd be perfect there. So just change that a little bit. And again, because we're using the be verb all day today, right? So I am a shyer person. And that would be perfect. And you get the same idea, right? Last one, and before we go on. Gisem says, I always want to be talkative, but I can't do it. How do you be talkative? Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's a skill some people have, right? They just grow up that way. Maybe their family's super talkative. But I guess you got to try, right? You got to just test yourself and put yourself in situations where you talk to people. I don't sit in quiet elevators anymore. I start conversations with people in the elevators because it's more interesting than saying nothing. So start with that. Get into an elevator and start a conversation. If you can start a conversation there, you can probably start a conversation anywhere, because elevators are probably one of the most boring places to start a conversation. So, okay. So let's just jump into this. We're going to look at exactly what we talked about here. If you guys have any questions about any of the vocab that we just went through, please ask, throw it into the chat. I'll do my best to answer it, but maybe I can just burn through this quickly. So we had a few words here, right? We had liberal, which is, you know, that, and I guess the opposite of liberal would be traditional. So I'm kind of just throwing out some more words here. Pricey, costly, natural, beautiful, gorgeous, right? A lot of words like that. Knowledgeable has some, and again, it's pretty simple. If you know one word, you know another, right? So my teacher appears knowledgeable in English. Ha ha ha. Good joke. Knowledgeable means has knowledge, except it's one word. It's not two words. Has knowledge. It's just one. So we kind of make it easier and then we simplify. Coffee tastes bitter and crappy. Angelina Jolie looks gorgeous. Brad Pitt looks handsome. Being talkative is better than being quiet. Okay, so we had all these ideas, and being super hot feels less uncomfortable than being super cold. All right, so let's see. Yeah, conservative, Pilar, you're right. Yeah, conservative would be a good opposite, obviously, for liberal. You could also think of traditional, but again, maybe some context would help you decide which word to use, right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do real simple stuff, and I'm going to show you why. So right now we're going to talk about using the be verb, which is up here. And this is some pretty basic review, but it's good because you know what? You meet students all the time, and sometimes there's still a few of those mistakes. So what do we always put after? So if you were thinking about the present simple, something that happens every day, of course, thank you, Canal, you got it. You're already on it. It's I am. Okay, so this is really, like I said, this is really basic, but we're doing this for a reason. The second one, he is, of course. Okay, you know what? I'm probably not going to go through all this. I think you guys know this. I might do the present perfect simple one. Okay, so the first word. Okay, yeah, good. I think you guys know it. Okay, all right. I don't need to go through it at all. I am. He is. She is. It is. They are. We are. You are. And now these ideas we could use every day. So every day, you know, for example, I am a teacher, or every day I am excited, or every day I am sleepy, or every day he is sleepy, or she is sleepy, or we are sleepy, whatever it turns out to be. This is an everyday idea that happens again and again and again, because that's why we use present simple. So if you say, for example, every day I work, or every day I am happy, or every day I work and am happy, that's two verbs, work and am. And they both have this idea that it happens again and again and again. All right, moving forward. Next one, past simple. All right, and again, pretty basic review. I was, he was, she was, it was, they were, we were, you were. Okay, yeah, you guys got it. I know this is easy. Bear with me, we're building here. Let's do the next one. I'll go through it faster. Okay, next one is present perfect simple. Oh, I should probably make that a little bit bigger there. There we go. Okay, now this one is only slightly harder. I know you guys have done this already. I have been. He, this is where it's slightly different. He has been, H-A-S, right? So maybe I'll write these ones just to review. So he has been. Okay, and we'll do the same thing here. She has been. And it has been. These three are different, right? Okay. And then the other ones. Okay, so I have, H-A-V-E. He has, H-A-S. She has, H-A-S. And now we're using the be verb in a different way. It's not be, it's not am, it's not was, it's not were. It's not is, it's not are, it's been. Okay, so this is actually easier, a little bit easier in a way, right? Because it's just been, been. B-E-E-N. Okay, and the last one we'll do is the future simple. Okay, and today you can use will. Honestly, in English we don't use will very much. Maybe some people use it a lot, but actually we don't use it in English so much. We actually use I am going to more often than will. But today it's okay, we can use will. So again, same thing, you got it. This one's even easier, right? I will be, he will be, she will be, it will be, they will be, we will be, you will be. Easy, easy, easy. Okay, so when you use the future, it's actually much easier. Unfortunately, it's not all like this. English is crazy, so it changes whenever you use the different tenses. The more I learn about English, the more I find it crazy. More I get tired and confused every day. Okay, so what is the meaning of the be verb? Let's jump ahead here. Okay, and it's kind of hard to explain, but if you had to put a meaning to the be verb in English, we usually explain it like this. It means exist. Okay, and maybe you guys can think of it as something which is true. So for example, I am a teacher. That's true. Canada is a country. That's true. But now sometimes we put more information in it, right? We say Canada is a beautiful country. Now, is it true? Not as true, right? Because it's less of a fact because of beautiful. That's an opinion, really. But sometimes we kind of use it. So general truth. Balek says, yeah, that's a good example, right? I am happy, I am sad, I am a Canadian, I am in Canada. And we often use the be verb for those three situations. So the second question is, why is the be verb so important today? Because we always use the be verb with adjectives. Okay, so whenever you see an adjective, you can probably use the be verb, right? Because we always use it with an adjective. Okay, so So use it with adjectives. So I am happy, I am excited, I am patient, all that stuff. So today we're going to kind of look at identifying adjectives. So whenever you use it, you can use the be verb, and that's going to be safe. Next. What are some words? And I'm kind of giving you the answers here. I think anyone who's studied a long time, you know the answers, right? What are some words which are similar? So if I say I am, let's say you are happy, or if I say you seem happy, they're very similar, right? Okay, so I gave you the first answer. So we have seem as the first one. Okay, what about the second one? Feel, perfect. Look, no like. Appear is the next one. Okay, so we got seem, feel, look, no after, appear, thank you, Kanal. A-P-P-E-A-R, appear. And then we got two more, sound, good, Abdurrahim, got it. And last one. You can see they're all senses, right? Look, sound, appear, again, same. What's the last one with the T? Anybody? Need some music. A tree. No, it's not a tree. Thank you, Yusuf. Taste is exactly it. No trees. So seem, feel, look, appear, sound, and taste. So seem. So let's go through the one by one. So of course we have, let's go feel, right? You're feeling, right? So I am tired. I feel tired. And you're really focusing on your feeling. Look, you look tired. Okay, so we're really focusing on the look. And if you use appear also, boop, there it is. There. If you use appear, it's also the look that you're really focusing on. Sound, of course, is sound. Seem you can think of as like maybe a combination of two. Look and sound together might be seem. You seem tired, right? So if I'm talking to you on the phone, well, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is more of a look. Seem is more for look. So I would say probably seem and appear and look. You can think of them all as visual. And sound, of course, is that. And taste. You know, don't taste people, but you can taste things, right? So you can say, this tastes salty, or coffee tastes bitter. All right, so you can also use that to describe things with adjectives. All right, so the last thing we're going to do before we get into defining them. My teacher appears nice. Now look at the following sentences. I just want to do this because this will help you to use them. My teacher appears nice. Now, I want you to tell me what are the different positions of the adjectives. Yes, you're right, Walid. We can use become as well. Another one you could use as well. He became angry. Yeah, good. Actually, you know what? Thank you, Walid. I'm going to add that. That's a good point. Become is another good one that we could use here as well. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. So here we are. I want you to just look at these positions here. So if you say my teacher appears nice, now what are the different positions of the adjectives? So we have, so where's my first adjective? So try to think of it in terms of nouns and verbs and adjectives. So what's the first position? So my teacher appears nice. Where is the adjective? This is what I want to know. No. Okay, no worries. After, at the end? Yeah, it's at the end, but think about if you have it, maybe you have a huge sentence, right? And you still have to put the adjective somewhere in that sentence. So it's good to know what's the word before that adjective. What do we got here? Good. Who's got it here? Judith has got it right. So after a verb. Okay, so that's the first answer. Okay? Appears nice, is nice, seems nice, sounds nice, looks nice, tastes nice. Okay, so after a verb, that's the first position you're going to use an adjective. And again, remember, we often use the be verb, or we use other verbs, seem, feel, look, appear, na. Next one. Look at this one here. Now, think about verbs, and think about other words. Thank you, Walid, you got it. You're going to be my honorary teacher for today. So if you look at this one, my verb is here. We have the be verb, of course. And then here, we have the adverb. So you can also use adjectives after adverbs. And you know this already, right? Really big, really happy, super happy, kind of happy. You can use you can use after adverbs or after an adverb. Okay, so that's number 2. All right. The class was a huge waste of time. Oh my God, it was horrible. Teacher didn't know anything. The class was a huge waste of time. So another situation. So again, where's huge? Huge is my adjective. And I can, now this one is good because a lot of students make this mistake all the time. So if you know this rule, then hopefully you'll make that mistake less. So we have, now I want you to think, what is the word before huge? And this will change. Sometimes you won't have it, right? But sometimes you will. So what is the word before huge? And the word before, so here's my verb. So it's not the verb. Determiner, thank you. Article, thank you. Okay, so the word we need is a, or it could be the, right? The class, no, you wouldn't say the huge waste, but in the sentence we would say a huge waste of time. So in this sentence, it is after. And I think I'll use the word a determiner here because sometimes you don't have articles. You might have some other word, right? You might have a this or a that. So we're going to call it a determiner. So that could be, you know, this class was a huge waste of time. If I used another sentence, you could say the large class, or this large class, or that large class, or those large classes. And all of those are determiners. And we would use a determiner, and then we would use our adjective, and then we would use our noun. So again, article or determiner, adjective, and then noun. So, oops, before, after, no, that's right. And before a noun. So that's the other one, right? Okay, so that's the other one, right? So here's this word. This word is a, right? A waste, that's your word. But we split it, and we put the adjective in the middle, right? So this class was a waste of time, but I want an adjective, so I'm going to put it in the middle, a huge waste of time. And now we have it, okay? So that's another way you can use it, with a noun. So if you know these rules, you're going to be less likely to make those mistakes in the future. And the last one we'll do is actually similar to the previous one. Where is my adjective here? So here it is. So this is my adjective. I probably don't need that verb highlighted. So adjective is horrible, and it is before what? It's before a noun. Same as the other one. Okay, so those are the positions. Those are some of the usual positions where you're going to see adjectives. There are others, of course, but these are kind of the basics, so I want to focus on that. Next question is, what is a suffix? So if you, and again, think about adjectives. So maybe let's put that, think about adjectives. Well, you don't even need a suffix, you just need to know what a suffix is. What is a suffix? And where would we see it? So imagine you have one word, imagine you have information, or you have happy, or you have obedient or impatient. What is a suffix? The letters after the word. Good. Yeah, pretty similar. I'm just going to say the ending of a word, right? So for example, let's put an example here. Good. Yeah, you got it. The part of the word that comes after the base. So if I say patient, that would be my suffix right there. Or if I said happy, come back. Yeah, you're being annoying. Okay, just like that. There's my suffix. Okay. Yeah, so again, it could be, I guess I'm focusing on adjectives today, but yeah, of course you're right. It could be a noun, it could be happiness. But what we're going to do is we're going to focus on adjective suffixes today because we want to expand your vocab, and we want you to know that, hey, you don't have to say, hey, that's an adjective. You just say, that one's an adjective, and it can go here. It can go after my be verb, or it can go between the article, the determiner, and the noun. This is why we're kind of doing it. So let's get into this. Now it's your turn. So what you guys can do, I have a big list here. Now, if you look at all these words, so let me highlight that whole thing. Lots of words and my head's in the way. I can't get my head out of the way. But if you look at it, it says, what are those words? Now, all of these words, I'll cut to the chase, all of these words are adjectives. Happy, right? I am happy, I am sad, I am honest, I am talkative, I am energetic, I am helpful, I am careless. All of them are adjectives. So you need to identify the suffixes here. So let's start with the first ones here. We have happy, friendly. Now, can you guys give me a few more words which we can add to this list? So we have the Y, right? Friendly, happy. And there was another one which I taught in the warm-up there. What was that word I used about Vancouver that we used to describe it? Lovely, good. So I'm going to add a few more. So if you don't know these, you can write them down. So what's another one with the ly? Bulky. Okay, good. So now I'm going to have to explain some stuff. Bulky means kind of big. Like if you had a really big package, you might say, oh, it's really bulky, and it's kind of difficult to carry. And you might say bulky could be good for somebody who's a big person, right? They could say he's a bulky guy. Oh man, you guys are going to kill me with how many words you got here. Bubbly, awesome word, bubbly. Bubbly is a word for people who are energetic, kind of like hoo hoo hee hee. Oh, why did I do that? But bubbly, a lot of energy, like bubbles. Okay, let's see another one. Bumpy. Numpy, that's not a word. Bumpy. Bumpy. So when you're driving and there's a lot of bumps in the road, bump, 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 and you're bouncing up and down, or on the airplane, the airplane could have a bumpy flight. Awesome, good word. Let me going to hit a few more. Pricey, yes. Angry, yes. Extremely, no. It's actually not. Extremely is, do I have that there? An extreme weather, no. So extreme is one that I actually have to add here. Extreme is the adjective. It's not extremely. Extremely, because of that ly, is an adverb. And unfortunately, sometimes adverbs and adjectives can be tricky. Sometimes you just have to learn them from using them all the time. Let's go through a few, and I have something for that we can look at after as well. Bony means you have a lot of bones. Maybe you don't have a lot of muscle, you have a lot of bones. You could say the guy, he was bony, a bony little guy. Wisely, again, wise, no, it's not. It's wise. Let me add that one as well. See, there's so many adjectives, I don't have them all on my paper here because there's a lot. So wise is also an adjective. So he is wise, she is wise, not wisely. Okay, all right, so maybe let's do, because we're getting a lot of, and this always happens, adverbs and adjectives can be confusing. If you look here, let me go here roughly. Okay, all right, we got to do this now. Look here. Take a look at this. Now look at those words and tell me, what is the connection between all of those words? Friendly, lively, lonely. Lonely twice. Why do we got lonely twice? What is the connection between all of those words? And you can see all of them have ly, which makes you think, they must be emotion, friendly, lively. Lively is not really an emotion. I guess it could be an emotion. They're all adjectives. Thank you, Ziad. So they look, so here's the answer. They look like adverbs. All right? But they are adjectives. Now be careful. We don't have so many like this, but that's what they are. Okay? So friendly. Now, if you can, if you go down, scroll down on your paper right to the bottom. I gave you a list because this is a mistake that happens all the time. Not this one, but not that one. Man, I got a lot of lists on here. You're gonna love it. This one. Look at this. This list here. So all of these words only are adjectives. ly, ly. Now we usually think they're adverbs, right? Like walk quickly, walk slowly, write slowly. Okay, but in this situation, they're all adjectives. So Vancouver is costly. That guy is cowardly. Brotherly love. He is an elderly man. So all of these words go in the same position as happy or sad or excited or all that stuff. Okay, so this sheet is at the bottom. So if you have a copy of the link that I sent you guys, it's right at you just scroll down to the bottom and it's all there. Okay, manly, masterly. And you can see we don't even use kingly, princely, like he walked with he was a princely man. It's kind of weird thing to say. So you can see we don't use them all the time, but a few, like friendly, we do use all the time. So a lot of students make that mistake. Could I put the link? Yeah, I can put the link one more time. Let me get a copy of it. Let's see. There you go, Abdurrahim. All right, so there you go. A lot of them, those are all adjectives, but they look like adverbs. So now, just remember that not everything, sometimes you're going to see ly, and you think, oh, it's an adverb, but it's not an adverb. It's these ones, only these ones are adjectives. So let's go back up all the way at the top, and let's look at these again. Now, be careful. And you'll see I put some other lists there for you as well. Lots of stuff that you guys can look at, all kinds of adjectives. But let's go back up here. Now remember, when you put ly, you have to be careful because sometimes it's an adjective, and here, bubbly is an adjective, it's good. But sometimes when you have an ly, it's an adverb. So be careful not to confuse those two. Always, go back and look at that list. And sometimes you just have to learn English by experience, right? Reading books, watching TV, and you kind of learn these combinations together. And the better you can remember them. Okay, so let's look at a few more. Let's go here. This one. Let's go to this next column here. It's a long lesson, right? Looking at all these things, but I think it's going to be really useful for you guys because you'll make a lot less mistakes later, and you'll be like, oh yeah, that's an adjective that goes here. Oh yeah, that's an adjective that goes there. Okay, so of course we got the easy ones. We have sad and mad. What's another one? Glad. Thank you. Glad is another one, and glad means kind of like thankful or happy, right? You can think of it as thankful or happy. Both of those are good. All right, what's another one with AD? What's the easiest one that everybody knows? I'll put it for you so you don't have to think about it. It's bad. Glad, bad. Any more? Need some cricket sounds right now. I'm not getting anything. Lad. Lad is a noun, unfortunately. Gizem. Maybe not a lot. Okay, you know what? Let's go to the next one. If you think of one, I'll put it up there as well, but maybe not. Sometimes you can't think of a lot, right? There's a few there, and you use these ones all the time, and even me, I can't think of another one. So, honest. So, honest means you tell the truth, right? Modest means you don't like to talk about yourself. I'm a modest person. I don't want to say. I don't want to say, oh, I'm so amazing, look at me, I'm awesome. You are modest. You don't want to talk about yourself. Okay, so Bisma's got a question. She says, using talks lovely and she is lovely, can lovely be used as both adjectives and adverbs? Awesome question. Sometimes we have just adjectives and we don't actually have an adverb. But one adverb we do have is lovingly. So L-O-V-I-N-G-L-Y. So unfortunately, you kind of have to get this experience in English, maybe reading books or just using your dictionary. So let me introduce you to my little friend called Google. Google is awesome. If you go here and you go lovely, it'll give you a definition. And here's our definition of lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, and you can see, and I think Google knows everything. Google knows where you're walking on the street every day. Check your cell phone. They know too much. But if you see this lovely, you can see that the first thing that comes up is an adjective. So maybe, they also put it in that order. Like, what do we use the most in English? Oh yeah, we use lovely as an adjective. We don't use loveliness, for example, as a noun. But let's take a look at some other things they have here. So, and here, look at this. They even show you, right, different forms of adjectives. She is lovely. He is lovely. She is lovelier than her. Or she is the loveliest in all of the land. Whatever. Okay? So you got that. And they give you examples, which is great, right? So again, and you're seeing here, I didn't really talk about this verb, but it is a verb, and it's the same position that we talked about. We have lovely, which is your adjective. You have eyes, which is your noun. And you have, which is your verb. So, and again, you kind of looked at those rules before, and you know those positions. And the other awesome thing about Google is look at this. Look at how many words they give you. And there's more. Boom. If you think, wow, I'm just saying the same words in English again and again and again, talk to Google. Google will hook you up with too many new words. Be careful, because sometimes, like look at this one, archaic. We don't say this, right? So usually I would say these ones, the first ones, are usually good, right? But, the first line or whatever is usually pretty good. But honestly, sometimes you have to click again because maybe the meaning changes. Like if you say handsome, of course we only use it for men. But if you say sweet, right? Now, boom, now we're on another page and we got a lot of stuff. So we start talking about different meanings of sweet. Here's the first one, which is like sugary. And then the second one, which is like delightful, which is similar to the other one which we were looking at. So again, be careful. But if you want to improve your vocabulary, find different ways to say things, right? Because if you're ever doing a test and you say the same word again and again and again, you probably won't get the points you want. Especially if you're doing, for example, maybe some people are doing IELTS or TOEFL or something like that. So if you repeat words a lot, you kind of don't get the points you want. Okay, so Google is your friend. Always talk to Google if you're wondering how can I improve my vocab, and it'll also tell you everything you need to know about words, right? Oh, I want to change lovely. You can change it to a plural noun. You can say lovelies, all right? A bevy rock. That's the weirdest sentence ever. Well, it's not a sentence, but anyway, so it can show you exactly how to use words. So always use that. All right, so we got a few minutes left. Unfortunately, we don't have time for all of this, so maybe let's go through a few. And you guys feel free, throw me some words. I'm just going to look at all these things together, and you guys can throw me some words. Talkative, likes to talk a lot. Think of another if, right? Sensitive, you could use that one. Sensitive person. So a sensitive person is usually, they're kind of in touch with their emotions. They maybe if you say something mean to them, they get hurt really fast, or maybe you say something to them, they get angry. They might be sensitive, or sensitive people can be sensitive in a good way, where they kind of care about other people and they really listen to other people. Energetic. How about this one? Here's a new one for you. Apologetic. He was very apologetic yesterday after he did something. Energetic. Good word. Probably I should just write more of these next time. Enthusiastic. So I think everybody, energy, right? Energetic, a lot of energy. Enthusiastic, a lot of enthusiasm. So we're just taking nouns and we're changing them to adjectives and we're using them in a different way. It might be a little bit faster as well, right? Dramatic, good. Another one, good. I'm just going to keep this. I'm going to steal your words and use them in my next class. Idealistic, awesome word. Yeah, good. All right, I'm running out of stuff there, but that's okay. Idealistic, so you have strong ideas about something. You have a way you think about life, and you are very idealistic. You want that way. Okay, obsessive. Okay, so helpful, forgetful. So forgetful means you forget things, right? Thoughtful. You think about other people, right? You are very thoughtful. Oh, you got me something because I was feeling sad. Yeah, thoughtful person. Good job. Mindful. Mindful, again, it's kind of like you're careful, right? I am very mindful of what I say when I'm around my little nieces, right? Because I don't want to say any bad words in front of them. So I have to be mindful. It's kind of like, yeah. Thoughtful, a little bit different from mindful. Mindful, kind of like paying attention to something you're doing, mindful of some situation. We have careless. We have useless. Not useful, right? Opposite. Selfless. Selfless means you don't think about yourself first. You think about, you really just think about other people. He was a very selfless. Maybe who would be a good example? I don't know, Martin Luther King or Gandhi or something like that would be a very selfless person. They didn't think about themselves. Tasteless, I got another one here. Yeah, good, no taste, right? So L-E-S-S means nothing. So tasteless. You could even use mindless, kind of like crazy. Homeless, good. And again, a lot of people make that mistake. Homeless can be a noun, but usually it's an adjective, right? Homeless people. You don't say homeless are. You usually might say homeless people are. So use that one as well. Helpless, reckless, good. Lots of them there. Okay, let's do a few here in this column. Gorgeous. Well, what's another one we could use instead of gorgeous? Fortuitous, is that the word I'm trying to say? Tell me if I'm spelling it. Fortuitous, kind of like lucky. What's another us word? Gracious. I was very gracious for the present that I got. So there's also a I-O-U-S. So I think I'm just looking at the O-U-S here. Yeah, that's it. What else we got? Unconscious. There we go. Don't drink too much tequila, or otherwise that happens. Unconscious, awesome. Jealous, awesome. So if your partner is with someone else and they're laughing a little bit too much and maybe having a little bit too much fun, you're like, oh, I kind of like get jealous, right? Marvelous means great, right? Like kind of like amazing, right? Marvelous. Awesome. Okay, we'll burn through these ones. I think we'll do these ones quickly. Wireless, yeah, you got it. Virtuous. Advantageous. Ooh, that's a nice one. That's a good one. Oh, I don't know. Anyways, if you listen to these and just realize that these are all adjectives and you can find them easily. Advantage, advantageous. Speechless. I have nothing to say. I am speechless. Good. So when you see people writing all these in the chat here, some of them you can take out. I think most of them are good. Take them out and use them. Find out what they mean. Cautious. All right, let's go through a few of these because we're kind of going overtime here, but that's okay. I don't mind. I love hanging out with you guys. That's cool. Canadian. American. Hi, Mansoor. A little late to the show, but welcome. Canadian, American, Malaysian, Argentinian, Brazilian. I know you guys don't like each other sometimes, but that's cool. Indian, there you go. Lots of IANs. And then, next one, Chinese. And again, but this one, so Canadian can be a noun or can be an adjective, but Chinese is really, we're trying to use it only as an adjective. We don't say Chinese are. We usually have to say Chinese people are, or Japanese people are, or Taiwanese people are. Okay, so be careful with that one. Make sure to use some noun after the adjective. Childish, here's a good word. So it means you are like a child, right? Your behavior is kind of immature. You are like a child. Childish, foolish, yes, there's another one we can use. So foolish is kind of a more polite way to say stupid, right? A little bit stupid, foolish. Selfish, correct. So selfish is kind of the opposite of the selfless we looked at before, right? Selfish, you only think about yourself. Good. Girlish. Oh, you guys are killing me here. You got so many. Girlish. I'm going to just delete all that. Okay, so girlish. Girlish looks. How did I spell that? Girlish. Okay, and so if you got girlish, of course you got boyish, right? So like a boy, girlish. So her girlish beauty, his boyish charms or something like that, right? Curious, okay, from the other ones before. Good. Broken, this one's hard. The en ending. The only one I can think of is sullen, which I believe, and vocab's not the most amazing, but it's kind of like uncooperative or maybe quiet, a sullen person. But we don't have a lot with the en, but there's one example. There's two examples of an en. Or maybe I just can't think of any right now. There's probably a lot. All right, so flexible. What's another one for flexible? Brain's shutting off. One of flexible would be another one for flexible. Sensible. There we go. Amiable. Maybe amiable. Canal, like this. If you mean friendly, maybe amiable. Sensible. So sensible means you make good decisions. Amiable, I think, means you're friendly. So IBL, IBLE. Drinkable. Beer is very drinkable. You can drink it. Coffee is very drinkable. You should drink it with sugar and milk if you don't like the bitter taste. Sociable, all right? People who are friendly and like to talk to a lot of people are sociable. Likeable. Ooh, nice one. Good one. See, you guys could write this lesson for me. Likeable. He is very likable. Like many people like him. So it's an easy way, right? You can say many people like him, or you can just say, boom, he is likable. Understandable. There we go. Awesome. Okay, so, you know, his English, maybe, for example, is very understandable. Okay, all right, and now we have the EDs and the INGs, which you guys should know, I think, are the most popular, right? And that's one of the questions I have at the bottom. Tired. Give me a okay, awesome. Bored. Okay, so if you do EDs. So for you guys, let's do this one, because I think you know these. If I say tired or tiring, I am tired, or I am tiring, or he is tired, or he is tiring. What's the difference between he is tired, or he is tiring? And I don't know why I don't have that question on there, because it's an important one. What is the difference between I am, or he is, let's do he is. He is tired. Come on. Hang in there, almost there. He is tiring. Boom. What's the difference between those two? Right there. Detachable, good one, nice. What's the difference between he is tired and he is tiring? So if you use tired, the difference is tiring is a verb, and but it's not, Abdurrahim, not in this sentence. So again, remember, look at these two. Look here. Where's my verb? My verb is here. Now look at the second sentence. Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Okay, let me think of a different example. Oh, I'm trying to. Oh, I need a better ing example. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Let's see here. What would be a good example? Tiring. Okay. No, I'm just going to change it. He is a tired teacher, because I look pretty tired right now. Now look at this one. Now what's the difference? It's not a verb, is it? Can't be a verb. So if you look at those two. All right, so yeah, correct. Lali's got it. So if you say, I am tired, tired is an adjective. And if you know, the more you study English, the more you realize the adjectives and the verbs are often very similar, like past participles, right? sometimes they're so similar that it's really confusing, even for English teachers to explain like what's the difference between tired from or tired by, right? It's kind of a confusing thing. But if you look at those two sentences, if you use ed, of course it's talking about your feeling. I am tired, right? I'm tired because I had a long day. He is tired, she is tired because she had a long day or he had a long day. But if you say that movie is tiring, you're really talking about a movie. You're not talking about people. And you could say, right, like that teacher is tiring. He makes me so tired, right? So, or that teacher is boring, and you would be describing something like an action, not a feeling. So feelings, we use ed. I am tired, I'm excited, I'm, whatever. And then for usually activities, we use ings. And those two are the most popular, right? Exhausted. I am exhausted because I ran a race, or the race was, it was an exhausting day. So an ing can be an adjective, and an ed can be adjective as well. They're just different styles. One is for feeling, and one is for activities. Yeah, I mean, Garima, it's like that, but I think the position is like an adjective position, so we call it an adjective, right? Because it's in that position. Okay, so I think we're gonna shut it down here for today, guys, because we got through most of them. But you can see there's more, right? There's a lot. So I guess the one thing that you guys can do is look at all these endings: the eat, the some, the ain't, the ent, the id, the ah. There's so many, right? And all of these are adjectives. So now, the next time you see a word, look for these endings on there, and that will help you to understand that. Oh yeah, it's an adjective, right? And it can go in this position or that position. Because a lot, in learning English is not always easy. And I think right at the beginning, people kind of confuse words, right? If it's not your first language, you're kind of like, oh, what the hell, where does this go? But I think the more you learn suffixes and prefixes, the more you can figure it out. And then eventually, you don't need a teacher. You'll be like, oh, I know that's an adjective, and that can go here. And you can kind of self-teach yourself, and and keep learning as well. So Google is your friend. That's one of the lessons of the day. Drink coffee. That's the other lesson of the day. Look for all these things, and I think the more you understand a little bit, because some people can't learn English from growing up in a family. You guys got to learn the system sometimes, and the more you understand a little bit of the system, the easier it's going to be for you to self-learn in the future as well. So I think that's about it for today. Normally what I get you to do is go here and make your own sentences, right? So maybe if you want to do that just for some practice today, take any of the new words that you learned, because there's a lot. Or better yet, go on Google and look for a list like this. Go and look for adjective prefixes. And you can get a list. And I've given you the list. So go to the bottom. If you go on my document here, go all the way down. I've given you a big group. Here's a lot of different kinds of adjectives. Boom, right? Adorable, clean, oh, that's too big. Okay, so you can see there's lots of different adjectives here, and they're all adjectives, right? Some of them are positive, some of them are negative, some of them are shapes, some of them are sizes, some of them are sounds. No. So there's a lot there, and then boom, I hit you with an ed and ing adjective list, and you can see, there's I am amazed, it was amazing, right? And then they also show you the noun form and the verb form, so not bad there. And then you go down do, and you got negative adjectives and do. Oh my God, that's a lot. You don't have to learn all that. And then last one, you got the sneaky ones, which kind of fool you into wondering what's the difference there. Brotherly, a brotherly love, a costly city like Vancouver, or a lovely person like that guy. Okay, so I think that's it for me today. I hope you guys got some use out of this. Go ahead, study, use some of these in your speaking. And again, look for new ways to say the same thing. Use Google, use anything else, look at this, and the more you understand it, I think your English will improve and improve and improve. And I think that's it for me, everybody. It's Friday. I got to get out of here. I got things to do. You got things to do. I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you next week for another exciting episode of Smrt English. Okay? Have a great day, everybody. I'll hang around in the chat, so if you guys have any questions for me, hit me up in the chat, and we can chat a little bit. And we'll see you next time. Have a great day. Happy Friday. See you all later. Bye-bye.
Look what you've done. a pretty little star boy. Look what you've done. You're a pretty little star boy.